Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new vid of Fox Reacts. Today we're checking out a vid from the Goji Center, the Indoraptor versus the White Spike. Now I know what the Indoraptor is, but what's this white spike creature? Let's hop in and see what it is and see how it fights.
The killing arena awaits us with two of the most ferocious genetically engineered killing machines of all time. On one end, a man-made anti-personnel weapon of war engineered to hunt down and kill Earth's most intelligent creatures while enjoying it, the Indoraptor. On the other end, an alien-made terraforming invasive species equipped with all sorts of gruesome weapons to violently drive all planet life to extinction, the White Spikes. In this episode, we will put their abilities, weapons, and intelligence to the test to see which of these voracious killers deserves to live and who deserves to die. This is Dinosaur versus Alien. Predator versus Predator. So stay with us till the end to find out who deserves the title of Deadliest Bioweapon.
Alright, here we go.
To begin this analysis, we will first have to explain this battle scenario. We will start by explaining what these things are.
Please.
White spikes were creatures featured in the film The Tomorrow War. In this film, humanity was under threat of complete annihilation thanks to these guys, the White Spikes, extraterrestrial creatures that appear on Earth in the future, reducing the global human population to a mere 500,000 in less than 3 years. What happened to the other billions? They were eaten. The most important fact that you need to know about these animals is that they were creatures who were engineered by another alien race to wipe out life on any given planet in an attempt to colonize this world. The last important thing to note about these creatures is that they were sexually dimorphic, meaning that males and females looked different, with males being much more numerous and smaller, and the females, or queens, being a lot bigger and more dangerous. In this scenario, we will select a queen White Spike to face off against the larger White Indoraptor. Because aesthetics. This battle will determine if our man-made creation can stand a chance against an extraterrestrial product.
Why do they need
now that we are acquainted with our contestants, let us now enter the analysis platform. Corporal armor. In this battle, the level of protection of these creatures will be of prime importance. Let us begin with the Indoraptor. In a previous battle face-off, we discussed that the Indoraptor was equipped with an extremely thick layer of hide that covered its head and upper body, capable of withstanding several shots from a SIG rifle at close range. We see that these bullets did not penetrate into its body as we see these bullets bouncing off. This said armor, however, is only composed of thick layers of hide and some osteoderms. Unlike its rival, all White Spikes, both male and female, are covered in a very dense layer of solid armor that also covers their upper body. This part of the body proved to be very resistant, almost like concrete. In fact, the only way to effectively kill these creatures was to aim in these two places, the neck and the underbelly. Everything else, including its arms, were resistant to bullet damage. So, who has the better armor? By analyzing both types of armor, it's relevant that the White Spike's upper body is almost impenetrable thanks to its solid build, making it more durable against a barrage of attacks. Percentage-wise, this armor also covers a high portion of their body. Therefore, this round, the edge for corporal armor will go to the White Spike.
Okay, that didn't work out. Well, back to
intelligence. For this section, we will have to keep in mind that both of these specimens are engineered to carry out certain tasks or missions, therefore making their levels of cognition pretty advanced. In the film Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, we witnessed the Indoraptor's malevolently curious personality, always learning something new while he was on screen, and exercising its cruelty on a couple of people. We've discussed several times in this channel that it takes a highly developed brain to find pleasure in the act of killing. But this thing's malevolence goes even further. Let's go back to this clip where the Indoraptor meets Maisie for the first time. Believe it or not, it was from this moment where the Indoraptor became weirdly obsessed with tormenting this little girl. Upon finding her again, the Indoraptor ignored everyone else and decided to stay in the Lockwood Manor and stop at nothing to keep tormenting this little girl, instead of taking off and actually escaping. Sick, right? Granting this creature a dark personality, which weirdly is an attribute of a highly intelligent animal. But these white spikes aren't too far behind either. Admittedly, it has been mentioned that the male white spikes follow a more instinctual methodology when it comes to problem solving, hardwired to kill and protect their queen. Though some male specimens are actually capable of leading assaults and strategizing flanking maneuvers to wipe out their enemies. The queen, however, is a different story. During a planetary invasion, these queens are genetically engineered to be the main ones, commandeering hundreds of thousands of these smaller white spikes in order to successfully wipe out the dominant species of the corresponding planets. In this case, humans. These queen white spikes were so effective at waging war against humanity that they technically drove them to extinction. But there's more. This queen you see here was actually pretending to be asleep. After being sedated so many times, she knew that pretending to be asleep and then waking up at the right time would catch these humans off guard. This allowed her to call on her army at the right time, successfully destroying the last remaining human stronghold. Throughout the second act of this film, the Queen developed a grudge with this particular character. Its vengeful nature was the thing responsible for this woman's death. As you can see, both of these creatures are immensely intelligent, with enhanced problem-solving skills at an individual level and strategic level, making this a draw in battle intelligence. Speed. Any biological killing machine needs to be able to move fast. The Indoraptor is a dinosaur that can switch from quadruped to bipedal at will, capable of moving at very high speeds, enough to catch up to almost any animal alive today. Its streamlined build is shaped precisely to be able to cut through the air with minimal drag. With all of this combined, it is estimated that this creature can move to up to speeds of 40 miles per hour. Its competition, the queen white spike, also boasts the ability to move while being on two legs or all four. For those who have seen this film, you'll recall the scene where they were able to run so fast that their momentum enabled them to violently flip these armored vehicles. Upon closer observation, it's evident that the white spike species can run as fast or close to the Indoraptor's top speed. But what helps these white spikes is its pouncing ability. These animals aren't afraid to launch themselves in long distances thanks to their higher amount of limbs to aid them in balancing themselves. This combination of locomotion methods would allow the white spike to have a similar moving speed to this Indoraptor, making this another draw in overall speed.
Okay, I see.
Agility. The battle between these two killers will be fast and extremely violent, thanks to both of their agile capabilities. To illustrate this, let's go back and look at how the Indoraptor was able to move through the closed quarters of the Lockwood Manor, using its sharp claws as gripping tools to help it pivot through sharp corners, and using its tail as a directional aid to make acute turns. But is this superior to its opponent? You'd be surprised to find out that this extraterrestrial creature was equipped to handle every possible scenario. These creatures had four legs with claws that enabled them to climb vertical surfaces at very high speeds. Given that these things have many appendages, their build enables them to literally walk or run in a three-dimensional plane, horizontally, forwards, backwards, up, and down. Also, keep in mind that although both of these animals are agile, the queen's smaller size compared to the Indoraptor will allow it to move faster in a cramped space. These animals prove to be masters at cutting through hard terrain and difficult to hit thanks to their smaller and more nimble size. For this battle, the edge for agility will go to the white spike.
You know, I think the Indoraptor, given that they're extremely intelligent, this new animal in the ecosystem would basically drive the death jackals to extinction, in my opinion.
They're bigger, they're stronger, they're smarter.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, not bad.
Overall strength. While observing both of these creatures' behavior and fight methodology, it's evident that their strength allocations differ between the two. Let's begin with the Indoraptor. In the past, we have seen that some of the most powerful muscles on this animal are found in its forearms, and by observing its musculature on its hind legs, we can figure that these are even stronger and larger, obviously.
Well, yes,
the queen white spike, on the other hand, is also a strong creature, featuring tentacles packed with thousands of muscles that allow it to easily ragdoll many humans and pick up other objects. But is this enough? In order to see who deserves the edge, we will have to see who has the strength where it matters. Given that the Indoraptor's arms are located in a more posterior part of its body, its strength distribution is more evenly spread and adequate for a frontal confrontation. Not to mention that the Indoraptor is in fact the larger creature. This one is close, but because the Indoraptor has a larger build compared to the white spike, the edge goes to the Indoraptor for overall strength.
Oh yeah.
Terrain compatibility. Keeping in mind that both of these predators are tasked to eliminate targets, being able to go through many types of terrain is vital. But who does this better? To find out, let us take into account the actual use of the Indoraptor. As mentioned many times already, this dinosaur was equipped to neutralize human targets, which is an indicator of what types of terrain these creatures are optimized for. Modern close combat warfare has evolved from fighting in open fields to combat in areas with many obstacles, meaning that the Indoraptor can fight in areas such as dense forests, industrial settings, deserts, etc., but only limited to ground locomotion. In addition to this, the Indoraptor has echolocation, capable of visualizing a three-dimensional picture of its surroundings without needing its eyes. The white spike species are on a completely different level. Keep in mind that a creature engineered to drive all life to extinction needs to be able to fight in all biomes, similar to the Indoraptor. But what these animals have that the Indoraptor doesn't is different methods to get around. It is mentioned by the creators of these creatures that all white spikes are apt swimmers, runners, and gliders. Precisely the type of creatures needed to successfully counter all life on Earth. It is also theorized that these creatures are capable of using echolocation, and this makes sense, it's just not officially confirmed yet. But even without the use of echolocation, it's evident that the white spikes are better equipped to maneuver through all types of terrain, giving them the edge for terrain compatibility. Now, let's get to the bloody stuff.
Hold on. And we're back.
Bite effectiveness. Both of these creatures feature fearsome jaws capable of putting a swift end to humans, but what if these were used on each other? To understand this bite better, we must first analyze these creatures' teeth. The Indoraptor was equipped with teeth that resembled its predecessor, the Indominus Rex, but at a smaller scale. These were proven to be very resistant and rooted deeply in this animal's skull, adding more strength. The white spikes had a mouthful of teeth as well, more densely packed and irregular in size. But do not be fooled by those long, thinner teeth. As fragile as they might look, they were actually able to bite through chains courtesy of their very strong mandibular muscles. The Indoraptor's jaw muscles were also strong, capable of literally crushing through flesh and bone while using a fewer amount of teeth in the process. So where does this leave us? This is now a question of how big of a bite these things can inflict. By comparing these skulls, we see that the Indoraptor can inflict a larger bite thanks to the larger surface area covered by their jaws.
There you go.
While it is likely that the white spike queen could inflict a slightly stronger bite force, the Indoraptor's ability to take a larger bite gives it the edge when it comes to bite effectiveness.
Okay, so the Indoraptor can at least get
auxiliary
one
weapons. We are now about to discuss the...
So if the Indoraptor can at least get this one, that would put it on a near-perfect battlefield with the white spike.
These creatures' most deadly array of weaponry. The Indoraptor comes equipped with 4 limbs, all of which are armed with the sharpest claws seen in the Jurassic World franchise. These are primarily used to pierce through thick hides, bullet-resistant armor, and bring down large and small prey. Its opponent brings a total of 6 limbs to the fight, each equipped with sharp claws as well, though these might not be as large as the Indoraptor's claws. If this is not enough, this creature also brings these 2 tentacles to the fight. Highly maneuverable and tipped with smaller, sharp mandibles capable of gripping onto something as wide as a human neck. But perhaps the most well-known weapon this creature possesses is its projectiles.
Yep, there you go,
Calcified,
see?
sharp objects that are fired from the tips of these tentacles.
Oh,
The
that
Queen
doesn't
White
look
Spike
right.
is particularly skilled at using this weapon. See how this person was critically hit by this queen from a larger distance? But are any of these weapons truly effective against an Indoraptor? And are the Indoraptor's weapons useful against its highly armored opponent? To find out, we must recall the fact that both of these animals are bullet-resistant creatures, meaning that a spike flying at lower speeds than, let's say, a 5.56 round would have less piercing power against a creature
so the
with
spike
bullet-resistant
won't have too
armor.
much damage.
These may pierce the outer layer of hide, but it would most likely not pierce deep enough to cause a fatal wound. We must
Nope.
also mention that both of these creatures have opposable thumbs on their front limbs, meaning that in the
Okay.
Indoraptor's case, its larger set of arms and hands could be used to grip and block any additional limbs that the spike throws
Could
at
even
him.
try,
And finally,
flipping.
because the material used to create the Indoraptor's claws is resistant enough to scratch concrete, this equips the Indoraptor to finally have a chance to cause some damage to the White Spike's dense armor. Because
even
the
try
raptor
flipping
does
it and get
indeed
the
have the
underbelly.
sharper and most effective weapons, he wins the edge for auxiliary weaponry.
Alright, perfect. It's an even fight
X
now.
Factor.
But
Two
this
very
will do it.
peculiar creatures are about to face each other in this battle arena. The White Spikes are known to be creatures with an insatiable hunger for flesh. They were engineered this way to
Neat.
rapidly wipe out whatever planet they were sent to, meaning that this queen won't try to kill the Indoraptor just because. It will try to kill it because this is what it was hardwired to do, and because
Its
it
brain is
must
literally just
eat.
saying kill, kill,
The
kill.
Indoraptor's genetic pool is made out of a plethora of predators, including raptors. These are known by paleontologists as the smartest
blue.
dinosaurs of all time, analytical creatures who over time developed an effective method of killing, which was to go straight for the neck and
yeah.
abdomen, which is why raptors were given
Exactly.
these types of weapons. This instinctive tendency to go for these particular parts of the body will prove useful in this battle.
Especially
We
since
are
those
now
the
ready to
weak
reveal
areas
who
on
will be the
White
winner
Spike.
of this fight. The Indoraptor, with its larger build, takes the edge in overall strength, bite effectiveness, and auxiliary weaponry.
Yes.
The Queen White Spike, with her unique anatomy, wins the edge in corporal armor, agility, and terrain compatibility.
Leaving them
Both
with
of
an
these creatures
equilibrium
are
at-
equal when it comes to both intelligence and overall speed. By compiling all of our
Here we
data,
go.
we determined that the Indoraptor
Yeah,
comes
now
out victorious
that's what I
in
like
this
to hear.
fight. But how was this Indoraptor able to counter all of the White Spike's weaponry? Although the Queen Spike did possess a larger array of weapons, there was one reason why the Indoraptor came out on top: size. Being a larger
Knew it.
animal was a crucial factor in this animal winning the edge in overall strength, bite, weapons, and its close to equal armor effectiveness.
Nice.
Being a larger animal only meant that this creature could literally tank damage from all sides, since
Now
the White
that's how
Spike
you
could
do it.
technically attack the Indoraptor from all angles. Its thick hide played a huge role in this battle, but it would not
Excuse
have
me,
been
sorry.
enough had it been a smaller creature. The next factor to consider is that
Perfect.
although both animals are extremely strategic creatures, this hybrid raptor's instincts kicked in once again, heading directly to this
Oh,
animal's
yeah.
weak spots without wasting any time trying to pierce the queen's impenetrable back.
The
Knowing
neck
this,
and
it's
underbelly.
very likely that if the Indoraptor was scaled smaller than its current proportions, it would have lost every chance of defeating this
Oh, yeah,
ferocious
probably.
alien. But in this scenario, size actually mattered. Being the biggest
Oh, yeah.
animal has its perks after all. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more, please
Alright,
subscribe
this
to
is
be
really
the first
cool.
to see who will be featured in the battle arena. If you can't wait for the next video, check us out on Beast Hub, a podcast that caters to all kaiju and dinosaur fans.
I may check that
Available
out.
on your favorite streaming platforms. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next Face Off.
Alright, and with that, folks, is where we're going to leave off today's video. So, I want y'all to remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Down in the description will be a link to the original video, so remember to support the Goji Center and all they do, and I'll see all of you folks next time. Peace.